Air Force military heritage. Drill is an integral part of military history, a prominence that rests on the fact that its fundamental purpose was to prepare troops for battle. For the most part, drill procedures practiced in the past were identical to the tactical maneuvers employed on the battlefield. It was this aspect of drill which made it such an important part of training. Even today, drill remains a necessary and useful training activity for instilling discipline and esprit de corps. Over 240 years ago, General Washington enlisted the assistance of Baron von Steuben, a distinguished Prussian officer, to help instill discipline. Baron von Steuben arrived at Valley Forge in February of 1778, facing an army of several thousand undisciplined, half-starved, wretched men in rags. To correct these conditions, he set to work immediately and wrote regulations designed to teach and discipline of drill to a morale company of 120 selected men. Discipline became a part of the military for these individuals as they learned to respond to commands without hesitation. As they mastered the art of drill and began to work as a team, the group developed a collective sense of pride in themselves and their unit. Watching this model company perform, observers were amazed to see how quickly and efficiently the troops could be massed and maneuvered in different battle formations. Later, members of this model company were assigned throughout the regular army to teach drill. It was through this simple emphasis on drill that the effectiveness and efficiency of Washington's Continental Army were improved. In 1789, Baron von Steuben wrote the American Army's first field manual, the regulations for the order and discipline of the troops of the United States. The drill procedures placed into effect at Valley Forge were not changed for over 85 years, and many of these same procedures are still in use today. One form of drill is the salute. Since early times, men of arms used some form of salute as an exchange of greeting, the most popular of which has been the hand salute. This exchange has been preserved, and its use continued in all modern militaries, which is inherit their traditions from the age of chivalry. Throughout today's ceremony, you will see the airmen presenting arms as one form of the military salute. The civilian counterpart of the salute is manifested in various ways, such as placing the right hand over the heart when the national anthem is played, or raising the hand when greeting a friend. The military salute is given in the same manner as a gesture of recognition and a friendly greeting to a comrade in the honorable profession of arms. To maintain the proper decorum and respect for events such as this, we ask that you abide by following standards while you are here. First, there will be times that you will be asked to stand for the invocation, the playing of the national anthem, ruffles and flourishes, the playing of the Air Force song, the reciting of the oath of enlistment, and the Airman's Creed. Second, we ask that you remain silent during these times, reflecting on the price that has been paid for our freedom. Third, we ask that you pay respect to the flag during the national anthem and as it passes during the review. Military members in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute. Civilians should stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not in uniform may render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. After the last note of the national anthem and after the flags have passed, you may then return your hand to your side. We also ask that all cell phones and other electronic devices be silenced at this time. As the flags pass in review, applause is appropriate. But please limit that applause so that others may hear the narration of the names and hometowns of the military training instructors. Please reserve the strictest respect during our oath of enlistment. During this oath, airmen pledge their lives to support and defend the Constitution and our country. For the safety and comfort of those around you, we ask that you remain in place until our distinguished guests have left the reviewing stand and departed the area. Restroom facilities are located in the buildings on either side of the parking lot, and during this morning's ceremony, smoking and the consumption of alcoholic beverage is not permitted. Please be cautious when ascending and descending the bleachers. Please use handrails where available and watch for tripping, slipping, and falling hazards. Finally, please do not go onto the grassy areas when taking photos during the ceremony. The flights before you today are named after Air Force pioneers who have made significant contributions to our enlisted heritage. They have special meaning to all airmen, especially those who are transitioning from civilians to warrior airmen of character. Today's graduates make up these heritage flights and will continue to shape our Air Force. And now I'd like to take a moment to inform you on specific flight locations on the parade field. As viewed from the bleachers, from your left to your right, the first 4 heritage flights to pass and review today are from the 323rd Training Squadron, Blue, Roy, Cody, and Matthew's flight. Next are Binneker and Benkin flight from the 321st Training Squadron. In the center of the parade field is the 737th Training Group's Drum and Bugle Corps, Murray flight from the 321st Training Squadron. The flight selected to carry our state and territorial flags is the Duprat-Waldo flight. Next are Harlow and McKinley flight from the 324th Training Squadron. The last 4 flights to pass and review today are from the 331st Training Squadron, Kissling, Peterson, Finch, and Smith flight. At this time, please find a place to sit. Thank you and enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the entrance of our official party. Please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Browning.
Almighty God, this morning we gather with family and friends to witness 2 remarkable transformations. We witness first the transformation of these individuals from many different walks of life, from many different ethnic origins, creeds, and religions. We have come together to embrace an opportunity that only 1% of our nation's population ever achieved. For 8.5 weeks, this cadre of training professionals challenged, tested, it dared these individuals to dig deep within and to aspire to something much greater than themselves. Under a crucible of pressure, these men and women transformed from a group of individuals into a team of the United States Airmen. With this designation, these before us have proven to themselves, to their family, and to others that they are ready to be the guardian of freedom and justice. Our nation's sword and shield, its sentry and avenger. They are ready to wear our nation's cloth. Under the red, white, and blue banner, they have willingly donned this military uniform and now stand ready to accept the proud heritage, tradition of honor, and legacy of valor from those who have fought and died to protect and to preserve our national freedom. These young men and women now commit with determination that this banner of freedom will never falter nor fail. The second remarkable transformation we witness today is the recognition of a single airman who also stood at this graduation field in 1981 and today will retire as Major General Robert LaBrutta. We honor his 37 years of dedicated service to this country. May his journey from Airman Basic to Major General show these new airmen the possibilities and responsibilities before them as they become the elite warriors and the world's preeminent air and space power. We truly give thanks to our newest airmen and for Major General LaBrutta. God, we ask your blessings on them and their families. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Browning. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's Basic Military Training Graduation Parade. We would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the host for today's ceremony, the Commander, Air Force Basic Military Training, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Colonel Michael Newsom. The Superintendent, Air Force Basic Military Training, Chief Master Sergeant Lee Hoover. Today's reviewing officer is the Director of Military Force Management Policy, Deputy Chief of Staff for Manpower, Personnel, and Services, Headquarters, United States Air Force, Washington, D.C. Major General Robert LaBrutta, accompanied by his wife, Leslie. Also in attendance with us today, the 5th Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, Chief Master Sergeant Robert Gaylor, accompanied by Lady Margaret. Lieutenant General Bruce Litchfield, United States Air Force retired, accompanied by his wife, Linda. Lieutenant General Gina Grosso, United States Air Force retired. Major General Margaret Poore, United States Air Force retired. Major General David Gillette, United States Air Force retired, accompanied by his wife, Dr. Marion Maxwell. Major General Lynn Patrick, United States Air Force retired, accompanied by his wife, Lynn. The Director of Operations and Communications, Headquarters Air Force Education and Training Command, Joint Base San Antonio, Texas, Brigadier General William Spangenthal. The Director of Civilian Force Management, Deputy Chief of Staff for Manpower, Personnel, and Services, Headquarters United States Air Force, Washington, D.C., Senior Executive Service Member Mark Eggenbaum. Brigadier General Carl Bueller, United States Air Force, retired. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 37th Training Wing is proud and welcome to each of you. We hope you enjoy today's ceremony. The airmen who will pass and review today have completed a demanding 8.5-week program that provides Air Force units throughout the world with trained airmen. Part of this training includes the time-proven concept of military customs and traditions, of which this parade is a vital part. All graduating airmen will also march over the Enlisted Heroes Walk. They will lead the way for the thousands of airmen that will follow, all reflecting on our enlisted heritage, tradition of honor, and our legacy of valor. Our Commander of Airmen is Master Sergeant Don Roque, Instructor Supervisor, 319th Training Squadron. General LaBrutta will review today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated.
Sir, the parade is marked.
737 Training Group, United States Air Force, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas. Subject, Commander's Excellent Streamer. The Commander's Excellent Streamer is awarded to the 323rd Training Squadron, Flight 478, for their significant accomplishments, demonstrating teamwork, excellence, and esprit de corps during the period of 6 May 2019 through 28 June 2019. Signed, Michael Newsom, Colonel, United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of ruffles and flourishes.
Sir, I present the command. March the command in review. Snap, work, post. Snap, post.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Give your squadron! Order!
Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating airmen passing in review today represent a portion of the 40,000 recruits who will complete basic military training this year. The 737 Training Group provides all recruits the essential military training to become motivated members of the enlisted corps of the greatest Air Force in the world. The military training instructors are responsible for the indoctrination, development, and discipline of the airmen. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Air Force. The flights you will view today are a representation of the enlisted force. Each flight represents an enlisted member of the Air Force who has embodied our core values and contributed to its heritage. As our graduates turn left onto the bomb run to pass and review, they will march over the Enlisted Heroes Walk. The airmen recognized on the pavers have been awarded our nation's highest honors, representing heroic and unselfish actions as members of the United States Air Force in armed conflict, including present-day operations in Afghanistan. They include 8 Medal of Honor, 27 Air Force Crosses, and 188 Silver Stars awarded for bravery during encounters with hostile enemy combatants. These enlisted heroes serve to inspire all airmen to execute their duties courageously and with honor in their service to this great nation. Armed with the knowledge of our past, the airmen will exit the Heroes Walk by marching over a blue line, signifying their accession into the greatest air power in the world. Musical support for this morning's ceremony has been provided by the 737th Training Group's Drum and Bugle Corps, Murray Flight, from the 321st Training Squadron. Performing today under the direction of Technical Sergeant Miles Hudlow, hometown Raleigh, North Carolina. These airmen are also in basic military training. They have been hand-selected to perform for ceremonies of this type. We would like for you to notice our national, state, and territorial flags. As these flags pass in review, please stand and render the appropriate courtesies for our national flag. Once the flags have passed in review, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow our guests the opportunity to view the flights as they pass in review. Now passing in review, our Commander of Airmen is Master Sergeant Don Roque, Instructor Supervisor, 319 Training Squadron, hometown, Apple Valley, California. From the 321st Training Squadron, the Drum and Bugle Corps, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force number 14, Murray Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Christopher Bird, hometown Bel Air, Maryland, and Technical Sergeant Gabriel Nowicki, hometown Oxnard, California. From the 323rd Training Squadron, representing a Medal of Honor recipient, Matthew Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Adria Russo, hometown Union City, Pennsylvania. From the 321st Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, number 9, Vinegar Flight, led by Master Sergeant Caitlin Thompson, hometown Gilbert, Arizona. From the 321st Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, number 12, Bitkin Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Brittany Skiles, hometown Lexington, Massachusetts. The squadron selected as the color guard is from the 323rd Training Squadron, led by Technical Sergeant Harlow Blanton, hometown Portland, Oregon. The flight selected to carry our state and territorial flags are from the 324th Training Squadron, representing the first female Combat Arms Major Command Program Manager, Dupre Waldo Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Eric Mistro, hometown Houston, Texas, and Staff Sergeant Joe Messenger, hometown El Paso, Texas. The B Squadron Commander is Technical Sergeant Carl Jackson, Military Training Instructor Trainer, 324th Training Squadron, hometown Panama City, Florida. From the 324th Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, number 2, Harlan Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Marcos Garcia, hometown Abilene, Texas. From the 324th Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, number 15, McKinley Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Foster Johnson, hometown Marksville, Louisiana. From the 331st Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, number 3, Kissling Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Sean Creedon, hometown St. Charles, Missouri. From the 331st Training Squadron, representing the Air Force's first female Chief Master Sergeant, Peterson Flight, led by Master Sergeant Freddie Renchifo, hometown Caracas, Venezuela. From the 331st Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, number 13, Finch Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Edward Vogt, hometown Beckley, West Virginia. From the 331st Training Squadron, representing a Medal of Honor recipient, Smith Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Ryan Waterfield, hometown Toledo, Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the United States Air Force song. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. Over the last 8.5 weeks, The airmen before you have transformed from civilians into motivated, disciplined warrior airmen with a foundation to serve in the world's greatest Air Force. Once these airmen leave basic military training, they will continue on to technical training to learn the skills needed to perform in one of over 118 Air Force specialties. They will then move on to serve at one of over 84 Air Force bases around the world or work directly with our sister services. As these airmen move on in technical training, they will continue to focus on adapting to military requirements, achieving occupational proficiency, and learning how to be highly productive members of the Air Force. These men and women will prepare for increased responsibilities and must ensure that they are trained, qualified, and ready to deploy and operate in an expeditionary environment while maintaining home station readiness. Of the hundreds of thousands of American citizens that enter the workforce each year, less than 1% have joined the ranks of the U.S. military, and an even smaller percentage in the United States Air Force. You should be proud